Ladies, listen to me carefully. There is a secret force that compels a man to crave, chase, and obsess over a woman, not because of her looks, not because of her body, but because of something far more powerful: the way she makes him feel. See, most women are trying to impress men the wrong way. They dress up, post thirst traps, send long messages, and wait for his response. But that's not what makes a man truly hooked. A man becomes obsessed with a woman when she activates a part of him he never knew existed. Men don't just fall in love with a woman, they fall in love with how she makes them feel in her presence. Attraction is not logical, it's emotional. A man might see a beautiful woman and feel desire, but that fades. What doesn't fade is the emotional experience she gives him. A woman who understands this holds the most dangerous kind of power, the power to live rent-free in a man's mind, to make him crave her energy even when she's nowhere to be found. Every man is searching for something he cannot put into words. He thinks he's looking for love. He thinks he's looking for beauty, companionship, or sex. But what he's really looking for is a feeling he has never had before. Something so rare that when he finds it, he will move mountains to keep it. Most women don't realize this. They believe a man will stay because of their loyalty, their kindness, their effort. But effort alone does not create obsession. How many times have you seen a woman give everything to a man only for him to leave her for someone who gives him almost nothing? It's because she gave effort, but she didn't give an experience. A man doesn't crave a woman because she is available. He craves her because she gives him a feeling he can't get anywhere else. It's not just excitement. It's not just chemistry. It's deep emotional activation. When he's around her, he feels alive in a way he never has before. She doesn't just make him feel attracted, she makes him feel challenged, inspired, and awakened. She makes him feel like a better man just by being in her energy. He might not even understand why he's so drawn to her. He just knows that when he's away, he feels her absence like a withdrawal. It's like a fire inside of him that won't go out. He keeps coming back, not because she's begging for his attention, but because he needs her energy to feel something real. Most women make a mistake. They try to buy a man's love with effort. They overgive. They prove themselves. They chase, thinking the more they do, the more he will love them. But love doesn't work that way. The moment a man feels suffocated, controlled, or obligated, he starts pulling away. He doesn't want to feel like he's being forced into love. He wants to feel like he's discovering something rare. A woman who understands this never forces anything. She doesn't need to. Her presence alone is powerful enough. She makes a man feel something he didn't even know he was missing. She doesn't overwhelm him with her emotions. She moves with mystery. She's warm but not needy. She's passionate but not desperate. She's confident but not arrogant. She creates an atmosphere where he feels free, yet drawn to her at the same time. This is why some women seem to have a hypnotic effect on men. They aren't the most beautiful, they aren't the most available, but they know how to activate a man's deepest emotions. They make him feel seen without chasing him. They make him feel desired without giving him everything. They create space for him to step up and pursue. Men are wired for pursuit, but they don't pursue just any woman. They pursue the woman who activates something rare inside them. They pursue the woman who gives them an emotional high they can't find anywhere else. And that high doesn't come from looks, status, or effort. It comes from the energy she carries. A woman who understands this never loses a man's attention, because once a man experiences a woman who makes him feel like his best self, no other woman can compare. She becomes unforgettable. She becomes the standard. No matter where he goes, no matter who he meets, a part of him will always measure every woman against her. And that is when obsession begins. Men do not chase beauty. They do not chase effort. They do not chase love that is handed to them on a silver platter. Men chase energy, the kind of energy that cannot be faked, the kind of energy that cannot be controlled, the kind of energy that is so rare and intoxicating that once he feels it, he cannot function without it. Most women think they need to do more to get a man's attention. They think if they give him everything, loyalty, love, availability, he will never leave. But what keeps a man is not what you do for him. It's what you represent to him. It's what he feels in your presence. And the most powerful energy a woman can carry is the one thing that men can't find everywhere: true feminine energy. Feminine energy is magnetic. It does not chase, it attracts. It does not beg, it commands attention effortlessly. When a woman moves in her feminine power, a man feels something in his gut, an instinct, an urge, an awakening. She doesn't have to convince him to see her worth. He feels it before she even speaks. A man is drawn to a woman who radiates feminine confidence because deep inside, every man is searching for a feeling of home, a place where he can be both challenged and at peace at the same time. But most women do the opposite. They step into masculine energy trying to impress him. They prove themselves, they compete, they dominate the space, and in doing so, they kill the very energy that makes a man chase. A high-value woman never chases a man because she understands her own power. She knows that her presence alone is the gift. When she walks into a room, men feel it before they see her. She doesn't force interactions, she allows them. She doesn't demand attention, she receives it. She doesn't over-explain, she lets her energy speak for itself. Men become addicted to what they can't fully figure out. When a woman moves in deep feminine energy, she creates a sense of mystery, a pull that men cannot resist. It's not about playing games, it's about knowing that your value does not come from proving anything. Your value comes from being. She's warm yet unattainable. She's kind, yet she doesn't tolerate disrespect. She gives love, but she doesn't overextend. She makes a man feel like he has to step up in order to earn her time, and this is what hooks him. Because men do not value what is given to them too easily. They value what they feel lucky to have. A feminine woman makes a man feel powerful, not by making herself small, but by standing strong in her own energy. She doesn't argue to be right. She doesn't beg to be chosen. She doesn't wait for his approval. She moves with confidence, with certainty, with a deep knowing that the right man will see her value without her needing to explain it. This is why men leave women who do too much and obsess over women who do less. Not because they don't want effort, but because men are drawn to what feels rare. The moment a man senses that a woman is completely dependent on him for her happiness, he starts pulling away. But when he feels like she is happy, fulfilled, and whole with or without him, he starts chasing. A woman in her feminine energy lets the man come to her. She lets him pursue, not because she's playing hard to get, but because she knows that a man only values what he works for. She understands that the right man doesn't need convincing. He needs to feel like he's earning something valuable. This is why some women become unforgettable. They don't just give a man attention, they give him an experience. They make him feel alive. They make him feel challenged. They make him feel like he is becoming a better man just by being near her. That energy is rare. That energy is priceless. That energy is what makes a man never want to lose her. And when a woman fully steps into this power, when she stops chasing and starts attracting, when she understands that she is the prize, men don't just want her, they crave her. Because what is rare is what is valued. What is valued is what is chased. And what is chased is never forgotten. Men do not obsess over women who make life easy for them. They do not chase women who hand over their love like it's on clearance. They do not commit to women who require nothing from them. A man does not become addicted to comfort. He becomes addicted to the woman who elevates him, who makes him step up, who makes him feel like he is standing in the presence of something greater than himself. The average man meets average women every day. Women who accept the bare minimum. Women who let him get away with being mediocre. Women who allow him to remain the same. But when a man meets a woman who forces him to evolve, his world shifts. She doesn't ask for more, she requires it. She doesn't nag him to be better. Her presence alone makes him want to be better. She carries herself in a way that makes him realize that the life he's been living is too small for the kind of man she deserves. And if he wants to keep her, he has no choice but to level up. Men do not value what comes easily. They do not admire what does not challenge them. They do not chase what does not ignite something deep inside of them. A woman who elevates a man is not just another woman. She becomes a turning point in his life. She becomes the reason he pushes harder. She becomes the reason he breaks his own limitations. He starts thinking bigger, moving smarter, becoming more. Not because she told him to, but because when he looks at her, He knows that a man who is not constantly growing will never be able to stand next to a woman like her. The problem with most women is that they shrink themselves to make a man feel comfortable. They lower their standards to make love easier. They accept less, thinking that patience will turn a boy into a man. But a woman who truly understands her worth knows that she is not here to raise a man. She is here to inspire him to rise. She does not wait for him to get it together. She moves forward and either keeps up or gets left behind. And when a man feels that, when he realizes that he is either becoming better or losing her forever, he has two choices: rise to her level or watch another man take his place. A high-value woman does not ask a man to be great. She expects it. And expectation is the most powerful force in attraction. Because when a woman has unshakable standards, a man either transforms into the man she deserves or he disappears. Either way, she wins. Because a weak man will resent her for making him uncomfortable, but a strong man will thank her for waking him up. Men secretly crave a woman who holds them accountable. A woman who sees their potential and does not tolerate their excuses. A woman who does not let them stay asleep in their own life. She is not impressed by empty words. She does not fall for potential. She does not waste her time on a man who is comfortable being average. And because of that, she becomes unforgettable. Because every man who loses her realizes one thing: he was better when he was with her. A woman like this is a mirror. She reflects a man's weaknesses back at him, forcing him to confront his own shortcomings. She does not let him hide behind charm, money, or empty promises. She sees through the facade, and this shakes him to his core. Because deep down, every man knows whether he is truly great or just pretending to be. And when he meets a woman who exposes that truth, he either steps up or runs away. This is why men never forget the woman who made them grow. The woman who held them to a higher standard. The woman who did not make love effortless, but made it worth it. She made him uncomfortable in the best way. She made him see himself differently. She made him realize that without growth, without purpose, without discipline, he would never be worthy of a woman like her. And when a man feels that, when a man experiences a love that demands his highest self, he will never settle for anything less. He will chase that feeling for the rest of his life. Because deep down, a man does not want easy. He wants a woman who makes him legendary. A man cannot be obsessed with a woman he fully understands, fully possesses, and fully controls. Obsession is born in uncertainty, in curiosity, in the feeling that at any moment, she could disappear and he would never experience her energy again. The moment a man feels like he has you no matter what, the moment he knows you are waiting, checking your phone, needing his validation to breathe, he starts losing interest. Not because he doesn't like you, but because he doesn't feel the urgency to fight for you. Men do not value what is always available. They value what they fear losing. When a woman becomes too attached to an outcome, she unknowingly repels the very thing she wants. The energy of attachment is desperate, needy, and predictable. A man can feel it. He knows when a woman is waiting for him, structuring her life around him, emotionally dependent on his attention. It makes him comfortable, but comfort does not create obsession. Obsession is created when he senses that no matter how much he wants her, she is still a mystery, still untouchable, still fully in control of her own happiness. A woman who masters detachment controls every interaction without saying a word. She is not cold, but she is unreadable. She is not distant, but she is untouchable in ways that make a man crave her presence. He wants her, but he cannot figure out why she does not need him the way other women do. He sees her. But he senses that if he does not step up, if he does not prove his value, she will slip away without a second thought. That is when a man becomes obsessed. Not when he is comfortable, but when he feels the weight of her absence before she's even gone. Most women try too hard to prove their worth, thinking that if they give a man everything, he will never leave. But love does not work like that. When a woman overinvests, when she gives too much too soon, she removes all mystery, all challenge, all reason for him to chase. A man does not want to feel like he has won a prize without effort. He wants to feel like he is earning the presence of a woman who is above the noise, above the games, above the desperate attempt. The moment a man realizes that he is the one being chased, his instinct to pursue disappears. Detachment does not mean not caring. It means caring about yourself more. It means knowing that no man, no relationship, no outcome will ever define your happiness. It means that no matter how much you want someone, you will never break your own boundaries just to keep them. A woman who has mastered detachment walks with the energy of someone who can take or leave any man, and because of that, men cannot leave her alone. She is not proving her worth, she is already worthy. She is not convincing a man to stay, she is giving him the chance to step up. And when a man feels like he could lose you at any moment, when he feels like no matter how much he gives, you are still a woman who chooses her own peace above all else, he will chase you until he has nothing left to prove. A man cannot obsess over a woman who needs him. He obsesses over a woman who wants him but never needs him. He obsesses over a woman who moves like a queen with or without him. He obsesses over a woman who, no matter how much she loves him, will never compromise her standards, her peace, or her purpose. That is the woman he cannot forget. That is the woman he dreams about. That is the woman who lives in his mind rent-free long after she is gone. A man will never obsess over what he fully understands. He will never lose sleep over a woman who is predictable, who always reacts the same way, who gives him no reason to wonder what she's thinking. Mystery is not about playing games. It's about being a woman he can never fully figure out, a woman who keeps evolving, a woman who is always just a little out of reach. The moment he feels like he has you all figured out, the moment he knows exactly how you will react, exactly how much you love him, exactly how much power he holds, the obsession fades. Men chase what they can't grasp. They lose themselves in what they don't fully understand. They crave the feeling of unlocking something rare, something hidden, something that no other man has fully discovered. But most women do the opposite. They over-explain, overexpose, overgive. They think that if a man just knew everything about them, if they just proved themselves enough, he would stay. But it doesn't work like that. The more he knows, the less he wonders. The less he wonders, the less he feels. Obsession is built in the space between certainty and doubt. He knows you like him, but does he know how much? He knows you're interested, but does he know if he's truly won you? He knows you enjoy his presence, but does he feel like he has full access to your mind, your heart, your soul? The moment a man feels like there is nothing left to uncover, nothing left to earn, he starts to detach. Not because he doesn't want you, but because he no longer feels the thrill of pursuit. A woman who understands this never gives everything away at once. She does not fake mystery. She lives it. She keeps evolving. She keeps growing. She keeps becoming a version of herself that even she is still discovering. A man cannot figure her out because she is still in the process of figuring herself out. He is drawn to her not because she withholds love, but because every time he thinks he has reached the depth of who she is, he realizes there is another layer waiting to be uncovered. Most women become too comfortable once they have a man's love. They stop being the woman he fell for, they stop growing, stop challenging, stop bringing new energy into the relationship. And that's when a man starts looking elsewhere. Not always for another woman, but for the feeling he used to get when he was around her. That feeling of excitement, of uncertainty, of needing to be on his best game just to keep her attention. A high-value woman never lets a man feel like he is fully won. Not because she plays games, but because she is constantly elevating. She is constantly outgrowing the version of herself he once knew. She doesn't stay the same. She doesn't let routine kill attraction. She doesn't give him a reason to feel like he can stop chasing, stop trying, stop impressing. Because the moment a man feels like he doesn't need to work to keep a woman, his mind starts to wander. Men do not crave comfort, they crave excitement, unpredictability, depth. They crave a woman who keeps them guessing, keeps them inspired, keeps them feeling like they are lucky just to be in her presence. And the only way to create that is to be a woman who is constantly evolving, constantly deepening, constantly becoming a new and higher version of herself. When a man senses that he could spend a lifetime with you and still never fully unravel your mystery, when he knows that no matter how much he loves you, you still belong to yourself first, when he realizes that even after years of knowing you, you are still just out of reach in the most intoxicating way, that is when obsession begins. That is when he can't look away. That is when he knows that no matter where he goes, no matter who he meets, he will never find another woman like you. A man will never be obsessed with a woman who needs his validation to feel worthy. He will never lose himself in a woman who waits for his approval, who dims her own light so he can shine, who shrinks herself to make him comfortable. A man becomes obsessed with a woman who is so completely in love with her own life, her own purpose, her own evolution, that he feels like he is chasing a moving force, something bigger than him, something he cannot contain. The moment a man realizes that a woman's happiness is not dependent on him, that she was whole before he arrived and will be whole if he leaves, he enters a state of fear and fascination. Because nothing is more terrifying to a man than losing a woman who does not need him. But nothing is more addictive than trying to be the man who is worthy enough to keep her. Most women make the mistake of making a man their world. They pour all their energy into keeping his attention, proving their love, making sure he never feels neglected. But in doing so, they lose the one thing that made him obsessed in the first place: their self-focus, their individuality, their ability to exist as their own entity. A man is drawn to a woman who has a fire within her, a woman whose passions, ambitions, and purpose are so deeply rooted in her that no man, no relationship, no external force can take them away. She is untouchable in the most powerful way because no man's actions can break her. A woman who is deeply in love with her life radiates something different. She moves with purpose. She speaks with conviction. She wakes up with something to chase that is greater than a man's attention. She does not sit by the phone waiting for a text. She does not rearrange her life for a man who hasn't proven his worth. She does not make space for a man at the expense of herself. And that energy, that rare, unshakable self-love, is what makes a man feel like he has to work for a place in her life. Men do not become obsessed with women who are available at all times, who put them on a pedestal, who make them the center of their universe. Men become obsessed with women who remain a mystery because they are too busy building themselves. A woman who is so focused on her own journey that a man feels lucky just to be a part of it. A woman who is not sitting around waiting for a man to give her meaning, but is too busy creating a life so fulfilling that he wants to be a part of it. There is nothing more powerful than a woman who does not flinch when a man pulls away. Nothing more captivating than a woman who does not beg, who does not break, who does not chase. A woman who, even in love, remains her own force. When a man realizes that a woman will not lose herself for him, he feels something unfamiliar: respect, admiration, fear. He realizes that she is not like the others, that she cannot be manipulated by attention, that her energy is too rare to take for granted. Men do not obsess over women who revolve around them. They obsess over women they have to keep up with. A woman who is evolving so fast that a man fears if he does not step up, she will outgrow him completely. A woman who is so in love with herself, her life, her growth, that a man knows he has to be extraordinary just to hold her attention. And when a man feels that, when he knows that no amount of charm, no amount of words, no amount of effort will keep her unless he continues to grow with her, that is when he becomes obsessed. That is when he stops taking her for granted. That is when he realizes that he is either becoming a better man every day, or he is losing the only woman who ever truly challenged him